Back on DSP, time to discuss the Lions because the offseason is officially here for this team with OTAs wrapping up. So many storylines in OTAs, whether it would be some of the newer guys in new numbers. I mean, Jamison Williams stepping up, Jahmyr Gibbs wearing number 0, but a lot of it too was the guys who were not participating because there was a long list of guys who didn't participate, including Amon-Ra St. Brown. He said he had a knee issue, got it quote-unquote cleaned up with surgery in the offseason, but should be ready to go for training camp.
Don't like that.
Classic thing that you hear in the offseason that just like kind of, it always pops up. Sometimes player would just be like, yeah, I just had knee surgery. It wasn't a big deal. Like, it was just totally like minor. I'll be fine. And then like next thing you know, they're on the PUP list.
Yeah. As far as you know, do wide receivers need to like cut on their knee or anything? Okay.
No,
right,
not at all.
So you have some concern then.
Did you? The way that the Lions' injury luck has gone the last couple of years, every little thing, he could say he had a hangnail, and I'd be like, great. 4 to 6.
He does. He has 2.
He has played through a lot, though, and if anybody can tough it out, it probably
I'm not actually concerned, but like anytime you hear
knee
surprise,
surgery,
I had surgery, you're just like, oh, come on.
He has played through a lot, so we'll be talking about his retirement in 2 years.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. Here was Amon-Ra St. Brown earlier last week talking about his relationship with new offensive coordinator John Morton, because so many changes. A lot of the players are back, but a lot of behind-the-scenes guys or guys making the calls will be new. But here's what he had to say about his new OC when we chatted with him. Subtle changes in the offense, but going through the classroom work of OTA, seeing what you see on the field, how different is it compared to what you guys had under Ben?
Yeah, a lot of it's the same. You like to keep the same things that you've done well the past 2-3 years. You'd like to keep those kind of similar. Obviously, each coach has their own wrinkles and their own little twist to what they do and what they like. Obviously, we got some different terminology, some different formations, but a lot of the the nucleus, I would say, of the offense is still there. But then again, we still got different stuff too. Change stuff up. Johnny Moe had a way of doing things where he was from that worked for him, and he feels like we got guys on this team that can make that work too. If not, maybe switch some things up, make it look even better. So he's been awesome. He's been very receptive. We've been receptive of him, and just be able to have a new face, have something, new voice, new way of teaching. It's good for us. I think we've been so accustomed to a certain thing for so long that you kind of get used to it, and then when something new happens, you're like, oh, it kind of wakes you up and gets you ready. So I think that he's kind of done that for our offense. Definitely woken me up just having to learn new plays, new formations. Because I was so used to the same plays, I didn't have to look at the play. I already knew what I had to do without even looking. So now I actually got to study up some plays, because I can't be messing up out there. That's the last thing I want to do. So it's good though. I think it's good for the offense. It's good for the guys, coaches too. They got to be on their toes because it's different formations. So we all got to lock in. But I think it's going to help us in the long run.
All right, Amon-Ra St. Brown saying right there that maybe it's a good thing that they change things up to keep everybody on their toes. Looking at what the Broncos did last year, that's where John Morton was. He was the passing game coordinator, working with a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix. Bo Nix had 3,700 passing yards, almost 30 touchdowns, and that's a rookie. Now he has a great offense with a solid quarterback in Jared Goff, multiple weapons. Where do you put what the Lions could be on offense this year? I mean, they established new heights over the last 2 seasons with Ben Johnson.
I'm so uncertain, honestly. Ben Johnson was such a great creative play caller. So removing him is one variable. All the changes on the offensive line is another variable. Yes, the skill pieces are still in place, but it's just, I don't know. I really don't know what to expect. The Frank Ragnow news shook me more than I expected it to. It felt like he really tied everything together. But hearing Amon-Ra speak, he's sort of like a steadying force, to me, even as he is on the field. So do I think the Lions are going to fall apart offensively? No, but they were such an outlier elite last year that I just don't know if I can expect that same production.
I thought Amon-Ra's comments were very honest, and you don't really get that sort of, I feel like he just let us in a little bit there.
Yeah.
And for him to say we were maybe, what I got from that was maybe we were a little too comfortable. Yeah. And we needed a little bit of a shakeup. I mean, that's very telling to me. I'm not exactly sure how that translated onto the field last year because the offense was obviously great. But for a player of his caliber to come out and say that is really interesting. Just hearing him say that gives me hope that there will be some good continuity from coordinator to coordinator. I I don't anticipate seeing like a huge offensive overhaul. I think you're going to see more so, tweaks. And at the end of the day, I mean, the trick plays, the gambling, all that stuff, that's Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the philosophy he wants his coaches to build strategy with. It's not just Ben Johnson was like working on a whim
in a lab and just like concocting. Who,
so I think the main tenets of that offense will still be there, and you'll see some different experimentation. But I just love that they're embracing the change in that way. It's you don't often.
It's refreshing to hear that because you could take the way of, well, we have a new coach, but it's still all about us. It's still this, that, and the other. No, that's them wanting to embrace that change. And I mean, Dan Skipper said the same thing. It's change. Change is not good or bad, is what he said. It's just change, and you have to embrace it and go for it.
Especially in the NFL. I mean, change is inevitable.
Yeah. Every year, every team.
Your
no
teammates,
team is the
your
same.
coaches,
no team is ever the same.
Never.
Hopefully, we will see something different for this Lions defense when it comes to the injuries coming up this season. So many injuries last year from top to bottom, including a guy who got hurt in the playoff game, and that was Amik Robertson. He said he had to work his way back. He should be a full go for training camp. But here's what he had to say about that defense in 2025 as they get back on their feet, hopefully much healthier coming up this year.
I like it, though. I like it because, it keeps everyone on edge.
How much do you think the pressure, the experience you have in the secondary will allow you guys to do a little bit more from a pressure standpoint, maybe take a little bit more risks, as far as being able to generate pressure and leave some of the secondary guys on the island because they are so good?
We know what kind of defense we want to be. We know what kind of defense we are. I don't want to say too much about the scheme or whatever, but when you got guys that can play man, it helps the D-line. And when you got guys that can rush, it helps the secondary, So it's always a blessing to be able to have a lot of guys that, football, not only just man guys, but football players that can, just help the defense in different ways.
And Amik said he didn't want to discredit, because somebody asked him, how much better do you think the defense will be this year with being healthier? And he said, I don't want to say anything about that because I don't want to discredit what some of the guys did who just came in unexpectedly and performed at a high level.
Including him.
Including him, absolutely. Yeah. But looking from our perspective, if this defense is fully healthy, when you have the safety tandem that they do, when you have a pass rusher like Aiden Hutchinson, whenever you have a great slot corner like Amik Robertson, older corners now with Terrion Arnold getting another year of experience under his belt, where do you put the ceiling for the defense in 2025?
I think the ceiling is probably higher than it was last year with everybody healthy. The biggest questions to me is just what percentage of production can we expect from those guys who were injured last year? Like, is Aiden Hutchinson just back as the best pass rusher in the league? When Alim McNeel returns, is he just Alim McNeel again, right? So the pieces are all there, and I think that, Brad Holmes did a nice job supplementing what they have and replacing the guys they lost, but if Aiden and Alim aren't at 100% at some point in this season, I don't think we can expect the defense to be as good this year as it was when they were all healthy last year.
That's very true. I mean, they have to be better than they were last year, just based on sheer personnel, right? They have to be better. I'm still going into the season a little iffy on the pass rush, and that's such a key area for that team. With Aiden on the other side of that line, and they haven't really done a whole lot to address it. It's kind of been a hot topic all offseason. Brad Holmes thinks we're overreacting all the time when we talk about this, but I just don't see, especially without Alim in the middle there, where they're getting all this pass rush outside of Hutch. And I mean, Amik just said it. That pass rush helps the secondary so much,
tremendously.
And if you don't have it, now you're putting a lot of pressure on that secondary again, and now you kind of have the same issues that you had last year. So,
and I think a big question, you both brought up Alim McNeel. The question is, will he be back? I mean, an ACL injury for anybody to come back from, it's a grueling process to return. Let alone a defensive tackle where brute force is the name of your game, and
Is there
that's going to be
sense,
interesting to see when he comes back.
Is there a sense being around the team of what they're expecting from him in terms
No,
of a return?
there has not. There has not. I know Dan Campbell said he was talking about Malcolm Rodriguez and said November is looking like when he would make the comeback. So if you're going off of similar timelines, I mean, that could be a good chunk of the season that they are playing. It's pure speculation, but I mean, usually an ACL takes a year to recover from.
Yeah.
And that's a long.
And Alim's a big guy.
Yeah.
So
I will say the good part is that they're not working in a whole lot of new faces.
No.
DJ Reed, I think, is probably the biggest.
And then probably Tyleik Williams, a rookie. I mean, that's
yeah.
probably why you drafted him, because if you don't know when Alim McNeel is coming back, you have somebody who can step in there. But still, that's a rookie getting used to the game. Yeah. And did not participate really in OTAs, kind of watched off to the side from what we could tell.
Yeah.
Whenever we were out.
And we haven't really seen the linebacking group play together for that long. Jack Campbell, Anzalone, and Derek
Anzalone
Barnes
hadn't
back.
been there. Yeah, and Barnes is just getting back on the field.
So, I mean, that I'm looking forward to, because Jack Campbell had such a great second year last year, just kind of holding things down for that defense. Had so many great plays, was all over the field. But, the pass rush is just lingering. It lingers.
Yeah, lingering. Was Zadarius Smith still out there?
He's still out there.
Come on, Z.
I feel like he might just end up on the roster at some point, right? On a 1 year sort of.
It's weird that it hasn't happened yet, right?
Maybe waiting until the beginning of.
He doesn't want to go to OTAs.
No. I don't need the classwork yet. Just tell me to go after
I'll
the quarterback.
sign in the preseason. That's fine.
He could. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen.
For sure.
Wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah.
Still much more to come on DSP. We'll be discussing two teams playing extremely well right now. Let's make it three teams if you include the Pistons in the playoffs last year. Which team has the best chance at this moment in time to win a championship? We will discuss coming up.